I love nature at the end of my street. There's always nature. We are nature as human beings. Our bodies are nature. Our streets are built upon nature, but still, you get what I mean. It's just great to have an open space of wild nature at the end of your street. And I always had that, like where I grew up, and I was a lot the last 9 years in the summer in the center of Arnhem, the Netherlands, and it was just next to the world famous Park Sonsbeek because of the art exhibitions that take place there. And I spent 10 years in Groningen for my study and working, and I also had my walks to nature starting at my front door, just going to the nearby water or nearby park or just a couple of trees. It's just great. So I have this here as well. It's at the south border of the River Rhine in Arnhem, and when you just go to the border of the city, there is Park Lingenzegen, and it has a sort of a grandeur and an openness, the sky mainly. I just love it. In a way, you could say I didn't travel a lot. I didn't really have that migration history. And I understand that, even though I saw very many places of, mainly Europe. That my parents took me to as a child, or that I went to as a student. We were learning about art history. I don't have a great migration story, but I felt it in my being anyway, because I felt so alienated from my natural being, especially, for instance, in my 10 years in the city of Groningen in the north of the Netherlands. But then going back to where I came from in Arnhem, in the middle of the Netherlands, that was like the last thing that I ever wanted. But still, it happened. And I never could have taken a better choice. Meanwhile, I went a lot to where my teacher is living. It's in Belgium, so not far away. The migration story is not only about traveling far. I feel that it is about traveling inside, traveling back to who you originally always were. Last summer I did my manifestation ritual that I do every year on the 8th of August in the Lion's Gate, the great universal gate through which so much inspiration comes to us about our mission on earth, about who we are going to be. I held that manifestation ritual of last summer, 2017, in this area where we have this cornfield, and I ate the corn as a ritual meal, being on a dry fasting while the ritual took place, but still eating what was in front of me, just naturally. This was one of those things. We live in a culture and society. That's especially true for me. Maybe also for you. We're so much into this collection of cultural habits that we cannot even think ourselves without. Still, a natural pull, that an art historian, you just learn to look at things in life and in culture, in cities, in landscapes, and in a certain way. And however intelligent that way is, however incredibly beautiful things can be you're looking at, and how much knowledge about what you're looking at and how the shape is can enhance that experience of beauty. It's still a bit standoffish. It's just an outer view, an intellectual standpoint. So it's very interesting to ask yourself, especially for an art historian, if looking at things, at life, to our surroundings, can somehow go back to a natural state that deepens our vision potentially so much till we see the core of things, the truth of things, the eternal value of ourselves, the other, and the stuff that we surround us with, and the earth itself. This is where it all took place, on the 8th of August on 2017. I prepped everything, my bowls of water, my water tuned in 432 hertz, my crystals I took with me and ordered them, all the intentions on paper. So the prep was great. I brought all my stuff in the forest and put up a camp, a tent I put in that area over there to have the ritual taken place here in this circle of wooden benches. And what would the ritual entail? That was something that had to be invented at the spot, spontaneously. I had laid there on the ground after I put all of my bowls with water, crystals in it, in a certain grid on the floor. This was our altar, our main altar, filled with symbols and crystals, and bowls with water. I remember laying there on the ground after having said some inspired prayers over this site, being surprised so much how much it all felt really as puzzle pieces on the right spot at the exact right time. No place for doubt at all. So sure. Because of this ritual that was breathing through me in accordance with the breath of the universe. And the immense calmness that it brought to me, to my spirit, to my body. It was a natural gift. Later on, explained to me as having been a blood ritual that purifies and wipes clean everything that is not naturally meant for you. in accordance with the universe, your soul, and your surroundings. Yes, so I know you've been wanting this, to meet each other here at this point. After a longing that was for 5 years very tangible for many people. A longing that took us on a journey of 5 years from 2012 to 2017. In which everything was touched that was obsolete, when taking into account who you truthfully are in the immense incarnation of your soul at this point in human history and in your lifespan. So I know you've been wanting this as much as I did, and now we're finally here. For me it meant the integration of soul creativity, meditation, my yogic backgrounds into my societal approach of creativity being art, being architecture, being the beautiful heritage of European art history, city structures, etc. And how that plays together. In fact, it brought me to travel far through the universe, because it has nothing to do with me personally or any particular artwork, Europe, the Netherlands, Arnhem. But it has to do in essence with what we all are and how we all create, and how this piece of art that we find ourselves in at this place, on this earth, on this video channel, on this Creativity TV, is just the magnificence of what we are, and understanding that we are the leading edge creators, and within that we can be artists, and within that we can be creative entrepreneurs, and within that we can be business owners that know how to place things and feel things and in the right way, in the right manner, to make something really come true in a creative, innovative way that touches other people's souls as well. So to have that integration, wow, that brought a new perspective. I mean, I just left that whole story of, yeah, I need to integrate my yogic and meditation history in my, which is a creative feeling and it's a creative being, into the story of being an artist. And I'm a writer. I became a little bit known as a poet, mainly in the Dutch language, mainly. So I have to integrate that and then be this person that has this integrated creativity within art. I mean, many more stories I had, but I all had to leave them behind one after the other, because there was this grand story of humanity in the universe, and the place of humanity in the universe, and the moment of creation of humanity in the universe, and what needs to happen next in that creational story. That's what it was about, and unspeakable stories and journeys I had through that. especially the last 5 years. Yes, absolutely. And I know you did too. And although I'm very curious about your stories, and please share them with me by putting it below the video, it's also in another way just a story, not to diminish it, absolutely not, because it's an important story and it wants to be heard, and I'm absolutely curious. But in another way it's just a story, and it could be the leading up to the next step. And that's what's so important about our whole meeting. That's what I want to say about it. So what's that next step? And is it about being a creative person as someone that accepts that they have a creative identity at the base and core and of their being, so that they can create and contribute to the world in their creative expression, whether it is in an artistic way, in a business way, or in a being way. Or if you are an artist and looking for more and broader avenues to act as a creative person with this particular specialty as an artist that you have, also can also be called creative identity, and also encompassing your artistic identity, of course. Are we not enormously called to contribute to this world that cries out for help, for compassion, for new ways to co-create that we don't know yet, because we have so many vast and deep challenges at this moment in our time on this earth. And aren't we so incredibly called to go out there and do that? First, feeling it completely in yourself, grounding it, whatever it may be that you are called to bring out there, but first to let it come true in yourself. So that's my tip, if you will. And the invitation is to do that part together. So I just want to cordially invite you to share that piece together with me, that piece of learning that is now placed before us in incarnating first in your own space that which you creatively are and will contribute to the world in a flowing, easy movement by itself, when you're full of it yourself first. So that's my full invitation for you now. And this frequency weather just came to this place at the end of October 2017, after having started, well, sometime before the manifestation ritual on this spot in nature took place. Being a form that got into form from all kinds of earlier versions that I did. Of course, nothing just comes into place all at once out of nothing. There is a progress of editions that you make, and it's just natural. So there we are in the frequency weather that, yes, is very much about this invitation. So I just wanted to place that before you. That was key. One of the manifestation cards for entrepreneurs that I drew for the upcoming week, week 44, is indeed the key. And I had speaking number 3, which is a growth number. Speaking to you about this heartfelt invitation learning to speak together with you in a way that resonates with the truth, and so that we can learn how to incredibly humanly be imperfect, because that's the incarnation part that is so important. Because feeling only the grandeur of the universal creative power is absolutely not even halfway where we need to go with this, because it's about integrating it into our human form, taking into account our emotional safety and understanding the child within us that is so incredibly hungry for love because it missed it when growing up, because we're not there yet in our human evolution, that all parents are so full of soul love themselves that they can grant that to their children easily. That's where we're standing. And that's why you see that the other card, the third card for this upcoming week, frequency weather, of the manifestation cards for entrepreneurs, says that you may have been ill, you may have been depressed, you may have been at a standstill the last 5 years, or however long it took for you. You may have been broke, you may have gone through breakups in the relational sense. You may have lost everything you've got that you ever had accumulated in your life, but still all of that served the cause that now you're standing on another ground, a ground in which you can feel your creative identity, take it on as your own, and stand up as this person that can co-create with the universe and with your surroundings, you being the center of that, the creative leader of that creation moment that will go forward from you out into the world. Yes, there is so much to learn. What is co-creation with your soul and then with the world? Let's just do this together. Thank you. I just love you so much. I do.